Hello and welcome to the building of the Svenson Jungmeister. If you've been following this build, you'll know that over the last couple of weeks I've been playing around with covering techniques, and I think I've hit on one that's going to work for me on this project. If you would like to find out more, just look at the previous videos that I did on this. But now it's time to start the installation of the radio gear. And in the case of the wing, I've departed from the plans which had actually called for a push rod operating a bell crank for each pair of ailerons. Now I prefer the idea of actually using separate servos for each pair. Obviously they're driven in the lower one and the upper wing has its aileron activated by a push rod. So I've purchased a few of these, which are, don't know if you can see them, they're mini rather than micro servos, so they're a step lower than a standard servo, but they're metal geared, and these particular ones pull 3.5 kilograms, so I think that'll be more than enough for this particular project. And by installing separate servos, it means that I have a little bit more finesse in setting them up. I don't know if this particular model will need differential throw, but I know that in the case of the SE5, that was the case. So, what have I done? I've decided on the shape of the inlay, and I've glued some runners in to hold the plate in position, and some cross pieces have been added so the covering can be easily applied on this part of the wing. And then on the other side it's pretty standard fare. So a slot's been cut out to allow the arm to move freely. Some hardwood bearers have been glued onto the plate, and then the servo itself has been mounted with the rubber grommets to allow for uptake of any vibration within the frames. It's always good to do if you can manage that. And then these corners will be drilled out, and I still have to put some hardwood blocks underneath to give something for the screws to purchase into, but when covered I think that'll be a neat installation and a very short direct positive drive to the aileron. So things are moving on. I must admit that installing the radio gear is not my favourite job, but it's a pretty big static model if I don't do it. So I hope that everybody gets an opportunity to go out flying. If you can't get flying, as I've often said, take the modelling knife up and let's get creative. Bye for now.